You're standing at the edge of a challenge, a critical presentation, a difficult conversation, a personal crisis that feels like the world is tilting off its axis. The pressure builds. Your heart begins to pound a frantic, primitive rhythm against your ribs. Your vision narrows. And then a cold, quiet, venomous voice whispers in the back of your mind, "I can't do this. I'm not strong enough." It feels like a final verdict, like you've slammed into a fundamental, unchangeable limit of your own character. We have all been sold a profound and debilitating lie about mental toughness. The lie is that it's a magical, innate trait, a kind of psychological superpower that some people are just born with, like blue eyes or a photographic memory. In this flawed narrative, the world is divided into the weak and the strong. You either have it or you don't. But what if that's completely, utterly wrong? What if mental toughness isn't a superpower you're born with, but a muscle you build? What if the very stress you spend your life trying to avoid is the raw material required to forge it? Today, we are not just going to talk about mental toughness. We're going into the mental gymnasium. We will learn its physics, its protocols, its routines. We will learn how to build it. Chapter 1, Your Neurological Barbell, the Science of Stress Inoculation. Here is the central secret, the one that changes the entire game. You build immunity to psychological stress the exact same way you build immunity to a biological virus, through controlled, low-dose, voluntary exposure. Imagine a vaccine. It works by introducing a tiny, weakened dose of a virus into your system. This is a deliberate, calculated breach of your body's defenses. Your immune system momentarily panics, identifying the invader. It then mounts a massive, coordinated defense. It creates a powerful antibody army, and most importantly, it logs the enemy's signature into its database. It remembers. So when the real, full-strength virus shows up to invade, your system is not surprised. It is prepared. It is inoculated. Psychological stress operates on the exact same principle. This is a proven concept called stress inoculation theory. You cannot build mental fortitude by bubble wrapping your life, hiding from every potential discomfort. You build it by intentionally exposing yourself to small, manageable doses of what you fear. The cortisol and adrenaline spike you feel in these moments is not the threat. It is the bell ringing to signal the start of the workout. Welcome to the mental gymnasium. It is not a shiny, comfortable place. It is a gritty, functional training facility for your mind. When you walk into a physical gym for the first time, you don't try to deadlift 500 pounds. You would shatter. You start with the empty barbell. That empty bar is a controlled, manageable dose of physical stress, just heavy enough to signal to your muscles that an adaptive response is required. The small, voluntary challenges you face are your neurological barbell. They are not the danger. They are the training tool. Chapter 2, The Repetition and the Rest, the Power of Progressive Overload. Mental strength, like physical strength, is not forged in one heroic, cinematic moment of triumph. It is built through two unsexy but unbreakable principles: consistent, gradually increasing challenges, paired with deliberate, intelligent recovery. In the world of fitness, the physical law that governs all growth is progressive overload. To get stronger, you must consistently and incrementally increase the demand on the muscle. You add another 5 pounds to the bar. You do one more repetition. Your body is the ultimate adaptation machine. It will only ever get as strong as its environment forces it to be. But here is the crucial, missing piece of the code that the modern hustle culture conveniently ignores, to its own peril: the science of recovery. Muscles do not grow during the workout. That's when they break down. The stress creates microscopic tears in the muscle fiber. The growth, the adaptation, the getting stronger part happens after, during periods of deep rest and recovery. This is when your body's repair crews get to work, rebuilding the fibers not just to their original state, but slightly stronger than before. This is the physiological secret of all strength. Without intelligent recovery, you do not get growth. You get injury. You get burnout. You get systemic collapse. Your mind operates on the exact same algorithm. The most important part of the workout happens when you're not working out. That is when the true synthesis and adaptation occur. Chapter 3, The Workout Plan, the Micro-Discomfort Protocol. So what does a workout in the mental gymnasium actually look like? It means we must become intentional hunters of low-stakes, controlled discomfort. It's time to start your daily training with the Micro-Discomfort Protocol. The goal is to perform small, simple actions that push you just 1 millimeter outside the shrinking border of your psychological comfort zone. These are your daily reps. Your limbic system, your toddler brain, hates discomfort. But these actions are too small for it to throw a full tantrum over, so they slip past its defenses. Let's make this tangible. For social reps to inoculate against rejection, ask a clerk a question you already know the answer to. Cold call a business for information. For control reps to inoculate against your need for rigid certainty, intentionally take a different, longer route home. Eat a meal without looking at your phone for stimulation. For ego reps to inoculate against the fear of looking foolish, be the first to ask a dumb question in a low-stakes meeting. Intentionally wear a slightly mismatched pair of socks. Your comfort zone is a muscle. Left untrained, it will atrophy until your entire world is a small, claustrophobic, and fragile box. These tiny, seemingly pointless actions are like deadlifting that comfort zone 1 inch off the floor. They feel awkward, but on a neurological level, you are activating fibers of courage and resilience that have been dormant for years. You are literally expanding the floor plan of what is possible for you, 1 millimeter at a time. Chapter 4. The Failure Press, Learning to Fail Forward. Micro-discomforts are your daily warm-up. But to build real strength, you must practice higher stakes movements. You must practice the art of failing and recovering. This is the progressive overload component of your training. First, a crucial reframe. In our culture, failure is treated as a final verdict, the opposite of success. This is a fatal software error. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a repetition in the long, grinding workout of success. An unsuccessful attempt is not an indictment of your character. It is a single, clean data point providing critical, irreplaceable information for the next rep. Here is the strategy: set process goals, not just outcome goals. An outcome goal is get the promotion. It is fragile and largely out of your control. A process goal is apply for 5 promotions where I am slightly underqualified. Why? Because the outcome is uncertain, but the process, the act of preparing, applying, and courageously facing potential rejection 5 times, is entirely within your control. You are shifting your sense of victory from something external to something internal, your own effort. You are intentionally exposing your system to a higher, but still manageable, dose of psychological weight. Imagine you're on a bench press. Pushing the weight up is the attempt. A failed rep is not when the weight comes crashing down. A failed rep is when you are too afraid to even unrack the bar. Chapter 5, the post-workout analysis, the after-action report. Now we come to the recovery phase. This is the most skipped, and therefore most important, part of the entire process. This is where the growth actually happens. After every challenge, big or small, you must run a structured, unemotional diagnostic. The tool for this comes from the military, an organization obsessed with forging strength from failure. It's called the After-Action Report, AAR. The ego hates the AAR because the ego wants to either celebrate wildly or hide in shame. The AAR is an ego killer. It bypasses the useless drama of success and failure. It is brutally simple and has 4 questions. 1. What was supposed to happen? The plan. 2. What actually happened? The raw, unemotional data. 3. Why was there a difference? The honest analysis. 4. What will I do differently next time? The system upgrade. This structured reflection is the process that turns raw, chaotic experience into cold, hard wisdom. It's the neurological equivalent of protein synthesis for your mind. It is the process that repairs the micro-tears and builds you back measurably stronger. We have dismantled the myth that toughness is an innate gift. We've reframed the mind as an adaptive muscle. We have laid out the scientific 1-2 punch of stress inoculation and progressive overload. We have a daily workout plan built on micro-discomforts, a strategy for practicing failure as a training tool, and a recovery protocol based on ruthless, unemotional analysis. Now for the final, most powerful reframe of all. A concept from the writer Nassim Taleb, anti-fragility. There are 3 types of systems in the world. The fragile, like a teacup, shatters under stress. The resilient, like a steel ball, resists stress and bounces back to its original state. But there is a third, rarer, and far more powerful category, the anti-fragile. The anti-fragile is a system that becomes stronger because of stress, chaos, and failure. A forest fire is a stressor, but it clears out the dead brush and allows for new, stronger growth. The anti-fragile doesn't just endure the obstacle, it feeds on it. Your mind is not a teacup. Your goal isn't even to be a steel ball. Your birthright is to be anti-fragile. So the question is not, am I strong enough? That question presumes your strength is a fixed quantity. That is the wrong question. It's a bug in your code. The real question, the only question that matters is, am I training smart enough? The obstacle is not in your way. The obstacle is the way. The barbell is not your enemy. It is your partner. So go lift.